You're trying to get views, of course, but, at least admit it. Trying to play the victim, the damsel in distress, Coach Greg is a misogynist because he made a video saying that I'm not 20% body fat when she clearly is not. Coach Greg, in today's video, delusional females who think they're leaner than they actually are. We've all seen the trend. Imagine all the brainwashing required to make us believe that this is an overweight woman. Or the BMI scale that this body is fat. And so what I've noticed is that if a girl says she's overweight, but she's attractive, people say that scale is bullshit. The BMI scale, it doesn't make any sense. But if the girl says that she's fat and she's unattractive, people say, well, look at yourself in the mirror. Here's what I want you to know. Just because you're overweight, it doesn't make you ugly. You can be overweight and attractive at the same time. A girl can be attractive, overweight by at least 20 pounds, but it's in all the right places. The big ass and the big hips, small waist, six pack, but yet be fat to the same extent. If you're a man and you're short, it doesn't mean that you're ugly. Being short, it sucks. It's not as good as being tall, but just because you're short, it doesn't mean that no one will love you, that no one will date you, that no one will look twice at you. And that is the same that holds part for women who are overweight. And so we need to stop assuming that just because a girl is fat or overweight, that she doesn't actually look good. Two can be the same. And so case in point, this video, it went viral. Here's me in the before at 12% body fat, and here's me in the after at 20% body fat. The problem is in the before, she was about 20%, and in the after, she was about 30%, which of course we know is overweight. Anything over 25% body fat for a girl, it's overweight. Above 33% body fat, based on body fat, that would classify her as being obese. Now, there's different definitions of obese. For example, there's a BMI scale, which is bullshit. Did you know that the same height to weight exists for men and women for BMI in order to be considered obese? Last I checked, men have more muscle than women, and so clearly, if a man and a woman are the same height, for example, 5'6" man like Coach Greg and 190 pounds, the woman's probably going to be fat, and the man, like myself, probably not. I'm obese on the BMI scale, but I actually don't look obese. A lot of people, they make the videos, they post the things, and so I reacted to the video and I said, she's still overweight. She's bordering on obesity. And I said, she's actually fat. And so fat is an amazing word because it's so triggering. And I just love it because it's great for clickbait. It's great for views. It's great for drama. And you're thinking, no, there's no way that you're right. You're full of shit. She got 3 million views on a video because I said in a video that she's overweight and or fat and bordering on obesity. And she said I called her obese. Now, bordering on obesity, I know not everyone has an IQ over 100, and in fact, it's only 50%. But bordering on obesity means you're almost obese. It means you're getting close to that. As in, if you gain a few more pounds, you're above 33% body fat, you're obese. Can you be obese and hot at the same time? Chris Bumstead is obese. Do you think he would start crying? No, because we're men and we're actually emotionally intelligent. Unlike women who think they're emotionally intelligent, they freak out for nothing. And so this woman who got 3 million followers and the girl who was reading my DMs had to delete all of the death threats and block them. She's like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. Over a video where you said that a girl was 30% body fat, I'm like, yeah, I know it happens all the time. This is what they do. It's amusing that people care this much. 2026, this is what the people do. You're mad that I called her fat, and frankly, fat and overweight are the same thing. You all have a certain word and it triggers you so bad. Do you know how many people call me a hobbit, a manlet, a dwarf, a midget, short? Count the number of times that you think I cried over being short. Or that I'm a snake oil salesman. Count the time, like imagine it. How offended I am. Like, oh, I can't go about my day. Like it's ruining my life. I can't concentrate. I can't get it up because I remember that person saying I was short. It doesn't happen. But yet for women, you say fat, or frankly, it's for men too. Some men, people, they lose their shit over that term. And so if you're called fat overweight, big, grande. I don't speak Spanish. Heavy, obese, large, plus size, higher body fat, carrying excess weight, rotund, corpulent, overweight looking. The list goes on and on. Depending on which word is used, it triggers a certain thing. Like if I said she looks corpulent, you're probably thinking, well, I don't know what that word means, but some of you who know what it means thinking, well, she's not that big. Yeah, she's overweight. She's bordering on obesity, but she's not corpulent. And so why would you use that term? And so when I use the word fat, many of you are thinking, somebody who weighs 400 pounds. I famously made a video about 6 years ago about bodybuilders, and I said, if you can't see your abs, you're probably fat. For men, this is almost certainly true. If you can't see your abs, you're probably fat. Eddie Hall can see his abs. You can't see anything. There's no outline. You're probably fat. Does that mean you're a bad person? Does that mean you're lesser? Does that mean you don't deserve your wife, girlfriend, family, that no one should follow you? That you're just like, you should be shunned from society? No. If she was 5'11", I'd say she looks tall. If she was 4'11", I'd say she looks short. If she had 30% body fat, I'd say she's overweight, bordering on obesity. But to have 3 million people and have hundreds of people thinking that the person should die over stating a fact, not an opinion, a fact. And so I spent a number of minutes sending her messages describing how her coach didn't know what they were doing, told her to bulk up when clearly that was a mistake. She was trying to enter a bodybuilding competition of which you need to be very, very lean. And so most people dramatically underestimate how much body fat they actually have. Typically, it's perhaps 5 or even 10% body fat, which is exactly what happened in this case. And so even at her stated 12% body fat, she still has a significant amount of fat to lose to compete in a bodybuilding competition. But I don't make the rules. Remember, I was an IFBB judge. I competed. And so I know the standard and I know what body fat percentages people have. If she was so offended by me saying that she's overweight, bordering on obesity, that she's actually fat, why would she call herself this?
So I got pretty skinny and then the freshman 15 happened and I got kind of chunky. Right after college, I did no type of physical activity and I got super fat.
Did I just hear her call herself chunky and then followed by super fat? I said she was overweight, bordering on obesity. She called herself chunky, followed by super fat. And in case you want to know what super fat is, it's equivalent to morbidly obese. Please don't all go and write her death threats because she called herself super fat. If I had said she's super fat, if I had found these photos and said she is super fat, you would have said what you said when I said that she was overweight, bordering on obesity. You'd have said you should kill yourself, you should die, you're a horrible human being, you're an asshole, you're a snake oil salesman, you're short, you're balding, your girlfriend only dates you for money. The list goes on and on. She called herself this. What do you think of that? All the men who write in, yeah, you the simps, you're a simp, you write in. She looked hotter when she was fatter. I mean, maybe, I don't care. I'm not saying if she's hotter or less hot. I don't frankly give a shit. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people are chubby chasers. Some people like skinny girls. Some people like girls who are too thin. I kind of like muscle. Some people hate it. So what? But she called herself super fat, and then she gets triggered when I say she's overweight or bordering on obesity.
And then I got engaged. So I was like, I need to be the best version of me on my wedding day.
And so a lot of people, they do that. They have a goal in mind. They have a wedding day, a summer vacation, a bodybuilding competition, and they then go on a diet. And then once they get to that goal, the wedding is over, the bodybuilding competition finishes, the vacation is done, they gain back all the weight. Oftentimes, they don't have my cookbook, they don't do regular cardio, or they're chasing unrealistic goals and expectations. Not everyone is meant to have single-digit body fat. Not all women are meant to be below 20% body fat. And for most women, 18 to 22% body fat, that is an athletic, low level of body fat percentage. 25% body fat is healthy. Once you get over that, well, you're overweight, you benefit from losing weight, and above 33% body fat, You're into that level of obesity where it's not actually good. And frankly, most of North America, they don't even realize how many people are overweight and or obese because the average person is overweight. It's just facts. It's not bad. It's just, it is what it is. And so if you say that somebody is fat, overweight, it's not your fault if they actually are.
Then I got a coach. We body recomped for a little bit, and then I started bulking, and this is me peak bulk. And now I am in prep. So I'll keep you updated.
And so she hired a coach, and then the coach, being an idiot, moron, told her to bulk. This is common stupidity from coaches. They do this. They make it look like you need to bulk and then cut, because as a coach, the longer you can keep a client, the more you make money. And so I've seen it before with bikini competitors, bodybuilders. They look great, and they'll ask me, what should I do? Main gain, you look great. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then when it's 8 weeks out, you diet for your show. But no, the coach says, no, you got to put on more muscle. And so you need to bulk. You need to eat 3,000, 4,000, whatever calories a day. And I'm thinking, this is not good. They then get fat, like she was doing. She gained 20 pounds, of which 2.7 pounds was muscle. About 17 pounds was fat. When you then go on a diet, for a typical female competitor, about 1 pound of fat a week, that is a very good diet. 500 calorie deficit. It's not overly starving, with a little bit of a calorie deficit and doing about an hour of cardio a day. It should be no problem. And so to lose back the 17 pounds of fat that she gained, 17 weeks. If she speed rushes it, like if she fast tracks it, she starves herself, 2 hours of cardio a day. She could lose those 17 pounds of fat that she gained on her bulk in 8.5 weeks. Does anyone think that she wasn't overweight if she gained 17 pounds of fat? She showed you her after. Did she not look good at her wedding? Now, does she look like she's in shape to win a bikini bodybuilding competition? No, but she looks great. Add 17 pounds of fat to being healthy. Do you not think that you're now overweight? And so why would a coach tell a client to gain 17 pounds of fat to only then have to lose it? If you've already done a lot of work to get your physique to a healthy level, stay there. Don't bulk when you're already at a healthy weight. Bulking is bad if it makes you overweight. You were overweight. I'm sorry if your coach doesn't understand this like I do. It hasn't been involved in this for over 30 years. I have a master's degree in kinesiology, 59 competitions, coached thousands of athletes, written multiple cookbooks. I'm an expert on all this. And so I'm sorry if they don't understand as much as I do. You didn't hire me for coaching. Oh, you're a bad coach. At least I'm an honest coach. If you think I'm a bad coach, don't hire me. If you want to hire me, click the link in the description. I've coached tons of people. I've gotten them to their goals. I know what I'm doing.
I created something revolutionary. Watch this. So this is me normally, not doing anything, but wait a minute. Oh my God, she's obese. Oh my God, call the police, she's obese.
And so this is the same woman, and she is flexing her abs or whatnot, and then she's blowing out her stomach and saying, oh my God, she's obese. The reason she's saying that is because I said in my video that she's overweight and bordering on obesity, and she thinks I said that because in her video, when she was 20% body fat, she said that she was sticking out her stomach to fool us, to make it look like she was fatter than she was. When you're sticking out your stomach or not, it doesn't fool me. My laser eyes don't care if you're breathing in or out. And so what I'm looking at is the hips, the cellulite, the amount of fat, and in person, it's a pinch test. I don't care if you're sticking out your stomach. I've already shown photos. If I stick out my stomach, it's going to be bigger. It's not fat. And so some idiots, perhaps they think, okay, because you're not flexing your stomach, you have a GH gut, a Roy gut. Versus if I'm flexing and tensing or twisting, then I'm going to look leaner. Whether you're flexed or not flexed, it has no bearing on your body fat percentage. It's how much air is in your stomach, whether you're tensing the muscles or relaxing them. If I do that, does that mean that my arms are small versus if I do this? No. Why even making this video? Yeah, I get it. You're trying to get views. Of course, but at least admit it. Trying to play the victim, the damsel in distress, Coach Greg is a misogynist because he made a video saying that I'm not 20% body fat when she clearly is not.
Oh, wait. Oh, she's thick. Oh, wait a minute.
Notice she used the word thick. Thick is a synonym for fat. She's thick with 3 C's. It's still thick. It's still fat. Just because your fat is in your ass and your hips doesn't mean you're not fat. I'm short. Do you all know that the reason I'm short is because my tibia and fibulas are way below average? That when I'm sitting down at a table, I look like I'm 5'11" because my upper body is of a normal adult length height, but my legs are short. Oh, I'm not short. My legs are short. Greg, you're short. Imagine thinking that just because you're fat in your ass, that doesn't count as fat. Oh, you're only fat if your stomach is big? I mean, this is not making sense.
I guess the men have never heard about angles and sucking in. What a revolutionary idea.
Why? Why are we doing this? Why is it men against women? Why can't it just be people and people? People saying you're not 20% and you being like, oh, I didn't know that an in-body scam wasn't accurate. And so she wrote me in private saying, in that photo, she was sticking her stomach out, so she isn't actually as heavy as she looks. And I'm like, well, why would you stick your stomach out? And regardless of that, she's still overweight. Like, I'm not looking at her stomach. I'm looking at her body fat. I'm looking at the amount of fat on her body, which is how I determine body fat. I don't use a BMI scale because the BMI scale doesn't incorporate how much muscle you have. AKA, think of how many more men are obese than women. A BMI scale is just height and weight. If you're a girl and you're 5'6" and 180 pounds, you're probably fat. If you're a man and you're a bodybuilder and you're 5'6" and 180 pounds, you're small. That's just how it works. But as a female, regular chick, 5'6", 180, fat, not lean, not small, overweight, chubby, portly. You use the terms that you want. And so let's say that I posted in a video that I am 6 feet tall, that I'm actually very, very tall. And then somebody made a counter video and said, Greg, you hid it in at your last bodybuilding contest and you were 5'6". The official height is right there. I met you. I'm 5'7". I stood next to you and I was taller than you. You are not tall. You are 5'6". Can I then just make a video and say, you're wrong. I'm tall. I'm 6 feet tall because I want to be tall. And so the difference between men and women and simps too, simps, you belong with the women, is that men argue with logic and women and simps argue with feelings. And so it hurt her feelings that she isn't 20% body fat and that she's actually 30. And so the simps and women, they thought, well, her feelings are hurt. He's a man. And so that means he's a misogynist and he's a bad person and he deserves death threats because her feelings were hurt. Logic, it doesn't matter. But if we reversed roles here and somebody said that I'm short, of which they did, 5 feet tall, of which is a lie. I'm actually 5'6". If I was 5 feet, I would say I'm 5 feet. Why would I care? I was 188.2 pounds this morning, 188.6 pounds yesterday, 191.2 pounds the day before that. There's no lying here. Like, I'll tell you anything. The size of my schlong, soft, erect, the circumference, the color, I don't care. Like, I will tell you anything. I have no secrets here. It doesn't bother me. But y'all can't handle it. And so when somebody says a fact, and that fact hurts a feeling, you think that feelings trump facts, but they do not. I'm not going to change my assessment on her body fat and lie to you. And that is why she got 3 million views and went from 10,000 followers to 18. And so I'll summarize what this did. This gave her more dopamine than she's most likely had in her life. Probably more excitement than on her wedding. She can perhaps make another video and say, hey, Coach Greg thinks that this is more fun than my wedding. And all the simps can argue back. I'm telling you, when you have 3 million people loving you, writing in the comments, 7,000, do you think she's even read them all? And all the negative ones, I'm going to ignore those. And all the good ones, she will remember that. And the DMs flooded. Don't listen to that misogynist. He's a 5-foot manlet. He's 50. How could he ever tell you that you're 30% body fat? You are a queen. Slay, girl. The dopamine is through the roof, and she's going to want to have that dopamine to keep going, and so she will continue to make videos of which she did. I've talked to her in private. She selected certain parts of those conversations to talk about and ignored the rest. Ignored the part about me saying, I don't mind you making all these videos, but really don't lie about the fact that I didn't say that you were obese, because I did not say that. I said you're overweight. Bordering on obesity means if you get to 33%, you're obese. You're at 30. So if you continue, for example, if this coach continues to tell her to bulk, eventually she's going to be obese. Remember, she called herself super fat, her own words.
And then I got kind of chunky. Right after college, I did no type of physical activity and I got super fat.
She did this before my video. If I call her fat, am I worse than herself calling herself super fat? Ask yourself that. Wait till the broccoli bros find out I have, in fact, a healthy body fat percentage. You don't, though. The broccoli bros are just going to say you're delusional. And so another example of what 30% body fat can look like. And so this girl, this is obese. Again, she has a small waist. She has hips. The fat rolls out onto the side of the lower hip. It's a sign of more body fat than you think that she has. Overweight, bordering on obesity, but yet again, attractive. The difference is she actually knows it. She got her body fat tested, 31.7%. And so most of you probably think she's 20%, but yet she's not.
This is what 30% body fat looks like on me. Key emphasis on me here, because 30% body fat on me is gonna look a whole lot different than 30% body fat on you.
And so perfect example, this girl, probably leaner than the girl that had 20% body fat. She said she had 20 and I said she had 30 and she was bordering on obesity. This girl has 31%. She's almost obese. Does she look bad? No. And as you can see, she isn't delusional like these other women. And so the bottom line is none of this would have happened if you would have bought and purchased GO2 Max as well as Turk Builder Max. Actually, this is not true. None of this would have happened if you would have hired me as a coach. Normally, I would say if you would have got this, all your problems would have gone away. You probably would have a better life. You'd be happy. Everything would be amazing. In this case, it wouldn't have happened if she would have hired Coach Greg, if she would have gotten my cookbook, because I wouldn't have told her that she needs to bulk up and get fat, overweight, bordering on obesity, none of that shit, in order to put on muscle for an upcoming bodybuilding competition of which she's going to compete, and she's not going to be in shape because she's listening to her coach. Her coach, who perhaps told her that she's at 12% body fat when she clearly was not. 12% body fat for a female in bikini is too lean. And so unfortunately, when you compete in bodybuilding, you have to get your body fat level to below healthy levels for most people. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy. But if you are a competitor, I suggest that at most, the highest as a woman, 25% body fat in the off season. I've seen people get their athletes to bulk higher than that. It does nothing good for them. Their health gets worse. They don't feel as good. They then have to crash diet. They don't like the reflection in the mirror. It is not a healthy sight. And so don't compete in a bodybuilding competition unless you can maintain a healthy weight in the off season. 25% body fat at most, preferably 18 to 22% body fat, because then you're in striking distance of getting down to that low level of body fat for your competition. Now remember, if you can't maintain this level of body fat, you aren't cut out for competing. You shouldn't compete. Various people have tried competing in the past. For example, we know Alicia McCarville. She once did a bodybuilding competition. She starved herself. She made this public. She made us aware of this. But unfortunately for her, maintaining a healthy 25% body fat year-round, it isn't realistic for her. It's too low. But unfortunately, following that competition, she rebounded and she's now morbidly obese. I'm not sure if she's super fat or super obese or what have you. I don't know if her BMI is over 50%, certainly over 40%, and it's not healthy. Now, if you are in fact overweight, if you are in fact obese, there's something known as GLPs. You may have heard of Ozempic or tirzepatide or retatrutide. Well, these products can lower your hunger signaling and get rid of the food noise. And so gone are the days where you have to suffer with constant hunger, cravings, fighting tooth and nail to avoid eating, having to eat in secret so that your boyfriend, your coworkers, your family, friends, they don't know that you're secretly eating candies, chocolate, cake, ice cream, or even just too much rice. Frankly, anything eaten to an excess is going to cause you to be overweight. And so if you take a GLP and you get your hunger under control, you get rid of the food noise, you can then just do the regular amounts of cardio, eat at whatever calorie intake you need and get to a healthy weight. If you are struggling, go to AlgoRx. You can get your blood work done. You can speak to doctors. Remember, everything from them is from compounding pharmacies, all FDA approved, not this research chemical bullshit. Everything is made for human use, unlike other people, Sam Sulik, not for human consumption. And so these other companies, they don't really care. It's all about making money. Now, am I all about making money? Absolutely. I want to make more money than last time. And frankly, I make more money by you guys buying Turk Builder Max and Geo2 Max than I get from AlgoRx. And so in the end, I'm already a multi-millionaire. I'm already making enough money, but we can all make more. And there's two things that can happen. I can make money and you can become happy. You can get exactly what you want. A product made for human use with a prescription from a doctor. And so whatever that may be, is it finasteride, dutasteride? Is it telmisartan? Is it enclomiphene? Is it Cialis, Viagra? The list goes on and on. Is it a peptide that's legal for human use? And can you be of benefit from it? And so if you're overweight, morbidly obese, if you are just hating life, you want to get skinnier and you're starving, you can't control it. You've already tried the book. This has made more money than anything. Continue to buy the book, but you can get other things as well. And so whatever you need to do to get your life in order, hire me for coaching, go to the gym, work out, do cardio, whatever it is, click the link in the description and get exactly what you need. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those two booths. Remember, if you want to get sponsored, if you want to sell my products into your stores and or gym, or if you want to get coached, click the links. Let's get started right now. And until next time, I am out.